Hello everybody, we've got the red-black burn deck here for Modern that I'm going to be playing today. I'm definitely excited about it. The deck seems really powerful. Ari Lax, actually, this is his list from his last article that had it in the deck, where he did a video with it. And I definitely think it's really sweet.
Yeah, I agree. I think this deck's actually reasonably well positioned right now. So
I agree as well. So let's go ahead and just take a look at it. So we have our creatures here in the middle, and we have a couple extra creatures that you normally don't see in a burn deck, being Deathrite Shaman and Dark Confidant. So Deathrite Shaman gives the deck a little bit of reach, allowing us to eat our burn spells that are doing damage to our opponents, to just do even more damage to them. It also lets us gain some life if we need to by playing a Stomping Ground. And there's a lot of decks, primarily Milleropod, that interact with their graveyard as a combo, and this gives us some interaction with that.
yes, it does. Yep.
Now, Dark Confidant is just a very good card, a legacy staple that's legal in Modern, so we definitely want to try it out. Just allows us to draw more burn to kill our opponents with.
Just lets you keep the spice flowing. So
Definitely. Now, I really like how these two cards interact with each other in the deck, and it's actually the main reason that there's only 3 Lava Spikes in the deck and 4 Bump in the Night. So normally a traditional burn deck is basically just a combo deck trying to cast 7 spells to do 21 points of damage to your opponent. But Dark Confidant and Deathrite Shaman allow us to quickly get to a point where we're casting more than 1 spell a turn, so we don't have to just be as super streamlined as we did before. We have some more play to our game.
right, you can choose to Magma Jet your opponent's creature instead of just having to go to their face, because if you kill their creature, then you don't have enough damage to finish them off.
Exactly.
But when you have cards like Deathrite and Bob that are, letting you have extra cards or are going to do a lot of damage on their own, you're a lot more flexible. You have a lot more options.
You're not stuck just playing Lava Spikes, as it were. Now, we do have plenty. We have 4 Bump in the Night, 3 Lava Spikes. We even get to play Skullcrack in the deck. There's no Thragtusk, but there are Sphinx's Revelations and infinite life-gaining combos.
Really?
So,
there's an infinite life gain combo in the format?
there's a couple.
Really? Interesting.
Yes. And then we also have standard staple Pillar of Flame, shows up here in the deck. Voice of Resurgence is a real card. Kitchen Finks is a real card. It's definitely just very good against both of those cards.
Yeah, Pillar is very well positioned in the format right now, and there's another real card called Deathrite Shaman that's also pretty good against you.
Oh yeah.
And it also conveniently has 2 toughness.
Yeah, definitely. And then we just have our classic white border lightning bolts and some rift bolts.
Sorry, what color was the border on those lightning bolts?
White as Chris VanMeter himself. And the rift bolts, just more spells that do 3 damage to our opponents, to complement Goblin Guides and Grim Lavamancers. We have our fetch lands. Deathrite Shaman also allows us to turn Lava Claw Reaches into an actual threat in the mid to late game by being a mana producer.
Yeah, sometimes Deathrite Shaman's mana ability will let you get a little bit of reach itself.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
So this is the main deck. I'm definitely excited. I hope that I get to flash this back at least once to win a game. That would be perfect.
I hope I get to Court of Calling in response for a Spike Feeder, but
oh man. If I got 6 mana, you probably do too. So yeah, this is the main deck. The sideboard has some very interesting cards. So let's go ahead and take a look at the sideboard and go from there. All right, everybody, here we are with the sideboard for the red-black burn deck. And we have some really awesome cards here, cards that I've played quite a bit myself in the past in different formats. First off, we get our 3rd Pillar of Flame. When it's good, it's great, so we want to have more. And along that, we have Searing Blaze, which is just one of my favorite cards from this era in the Zendikar block. There's just Deathrite Shamans everywhere, and what better than being able to Lightning Bolt them and their creature?
and I gotta say, I lost to Searing Blaze a lot in Standard. I'm really excited to lose to it again in Modern. So,
yeah, Searing Blaze was really good in Standard, and we had Goblin Guides and played a Geopedes.
Yes.
Now we have a Guess Verdict is another way to handle protection from red creatures like Core Firewalker, but it's also a very good removal spell that doesn't target. So
yeah, a lot of creatures are pretty slippery in the format. So
yes, they are. They are quite slippery. And then we also have Illness in the Ranks, which I think is a very good card in Modern right now.
It is.
It's just a very good way to combat the Splinter Twin combo decks.
Yep. Even if they have Pestermite, if they combo off with the Pestermite, it reduces the toughness to 0, so that doesn't work. And if they combo off with a Deceiver Exarch, it reduces the power to 1, so that doesn't work.
Or the power to 0.
Or the power to 0,
Yeah,
so then that doesn't kill you either.
Either way, they don't kill us.
And if they go for Restoration Angel Kiki-Jiki, then it reduces it to 2.
And
so you die.
You still die.
Yeah.
But it's good against the other 2.
It is, yes.
Now we also have Phyrexian Arena, which is a very good card. I know quite a few people that like the card. In fact, it's your favorite card, isn't it?
It is. It is actually my favorite Magic card. So
now, the reason this card is in the deck is against some matchups where we want card advantage, but Bob is going to die. It gives us an option that we can either replace Bobs with or use to augment Bobs. The decks that have Electrolyze, we want to draw extra cards, but Bob is going to die a lot against those decks.
Bob is going to be in the graveyard a lot more than he is in play. So.
Absolutely. So Phyrexian Arena can come in against like the blue-white-red deck and just continue to fill our hands. And then we have Smash to Smithereens, which is a very good card. Affinity is a real deck, and I feel like this card is also going to be good to some extent against the Birthing Pod deck as well.
Yes. Yep.
So like the Birthing Pod decks are going to have Spellskites post-board against us, and this handles both Pod and Spellskite.
And one thing I want to point out that's kind of interesting is that the red-black burn deck has a lot of red and black burn in its sideboard. Just an interesting thing to note. So
yes, it does. So there's the sideboard for us, guys. The deck, much like a lot of the other aggressive decks that I like to play, they are more difficult than they seem. A lot of times you think, it's just, Rift Bolts, Lightning Bolts, and Lava Spikes. Any idiot can play the deck. But these decks are thinking man decks, as I like to call them, and to do very well with them, you do have to put in quite a bit of work.
It's true. There's actually very few decks in Magic where that's not the case. And yeah, Mono Red gets a bad rap for not being a thinking man's deck. It's actually a deck that requires a lot of thinking. You have to think very far ahead usually. So
absolutely. So I'm excited to give these decks a spin, and let's battle some Modern.
All right, let's do it.